Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abhay and we are covering the Python course for beginners and this is the chapter 8. In the last video, we discussed logical operators and we have write the code for the logical operators in a Python. In this video, we will write some practical programs using if-else statements and logical operators. So basically, today we will see and we will write a code for these programs. First, the first one is check if a number is even or odd. Then we will write a program to find the greatest of two numbers. Then we will write a program to find the greatest of three numbers. So first of all, let's write a code to find whether a number is a even or odd. In mathematics, if I tell you like how you can find the even numbers, okay, I hope like you know what are even numbers. Okay, so even number are those, okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and like that. Okay, these are the even numbers and let me write some odd numbers. Okay, just I am like giving you overview like what is even and odd numbers. Okay, 5, 7, 9 and like that. Okay, and in mathematics, if you see the pattern, okay, even number, these 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so we call the number as a even if they can be divisible by a 2. Okay, they can be divisible by 2. So if you see the 4 can be divisible by 2, 6 can be divisible by 2, okay, like that way. Okay, so if we divide these numbers by 2, we get a remainder as a 0. Okay, so that's why like we are calling these kind of a number as an even number. Then we have this odd number which like they can't be divisible by 2 directly. Like when we divide 3 by 2, when we divide 3 by 2, like we will get a remainder of 1. I hope you got my point. What are even numbers and what are odd numbers? You just need to remember even number, when we are dividing the even number by 2, like we will get a remainder 0. Okay, otherwise we will get a remainder of 1. Okay, so we are going to write a program for this. First of all, let's take the number input from the user. So we can create a variable like that way, my number, and input enter any number to check even or odd. If you remember, this by default we get the string when we are taking the input. Okay, but here we want the number. So how we can convert this integer, convert this string to an integer by putting the int. Okay, we just need to put the int in the starting point. So what it will do, it will just whatever like we are going to insert, that we will get in as a number. Let me put /n just for line breaking. Then once we get the number, we need to check whether that is even or odd. So like that way we can check my number. If you remember, when we discussed about the arithmetic operators, there we have a percent sign which can give us the remainder. Okay, so I know in order to check the even number, I need to check whether they can be divisible by 2 or not. If they can, and if we get the remainder 0, then in that case I know that this number is an even number. Even number. Okay, if not, okay, then it will go in the else part. There we will write odd number. Okay, so that's it. Like it is that simple, like to find out the even and odd. Okay, let's run this program and check for multiple numbers. Okay, it is asking for the number. So for now, let me put 89. Okay, 89. 89, it is showing odd number, which is correct. Let me change the number. Let me put 1020. This is even number, so that is also correct. Okay, so like that way, like we can find out the even or odd number. Okay, it can be changed. Okay, like there are a lot of way to write the programs. Okay, it can vary. Instead of this, what you can do, like if you can also write the program like that way. If the number, when we are finding the remainder, if we get the 1, so here we can write the odd number, and there we can write the even number. Okay, so this is just a different way of writing the code. Okay, here I'm checking the 1. Initially, like we were checking the 0. Okay, so it will not affect the code. It's just like a different way to write a code. If I put the 56, it is showing even number. And if I run again, and let me put some large number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is an odd number. Okay, I hope you got my point, like how to write even and odd number checker. Okay. Let's move to the next program. There, we want to check the greatest of a two number. Suppose if we have the 10 and we have 12. Okay. So in these two number, we need to find out which is the greater number. Okay. So as per our understanding, we know like 12 is greater. Okay. But in the program, how we can check that? Okay. So first of all, let's take the input from of two numbers. Okay. Let's create the variable number one. Like that way we can create the variable. Okay. And we want to take the number, so like we put the integer here, then we write like that input enter first number, and let me put a slash n. Then in the similar way, let's take the another number two, enter second number. Okay, so we just like take the input from user for these two numbers. Then we need to check the greatest of these two. Okay, so how we can do it? If number one greater than, okay, in the comparison operators, if you remember, we have this greater sign. Okay, so like that way we can write our code. Number two, here what we are doing, we are checking whether our number one is greater than number two or not. Okay, if it is, then we are going to say that second number, let's just write the statement, second number is greater, sorry, first number. Okay, because here the first number is greater, first number is greater than the second number. Otherwise, in the else part, what we can write? We can write print second number is greater than the first number. Okay, so what we did here, we just check if the number one is greater than number two, then we will say that yes, first number is greater than the second number. If this condition will fail, okay, if this condition will fail, it means our number two is greater. Okay, that's why like we have put that in the else part. Okay, so if this condition will work, okay, if the condition will return the true, then we are going to print this, otherwise we are going to print this. Okay, so that's the logic how we can write the code to compare two numbers, and how we can find out the greater of these two. Let's make it more tricky, like where like we need to find out the greatest of three number. Okay, so how we can find out that? First of all, let's take number 3 in input. Enter third number. Okay, we are taking the third number. Or let check first. Okay, our existing code. Let me rerun again. Okay. Okay, it is asking for the first number. So let me put 13 and let me put 89. Okay. So basically, as per our understanding, we know 89 is greater. Okay. So if we enter, we will, okay, this is asking for third. Okay. But it is showing second number is the greater than the first number. Okay. Because 89 is greater than 13. Okay. But let's move to this number 3. Okay. We want to find out in all of these three number, which is greater. Okay, so how we can do it? If you remember, this is just a comparison operators, but also we have the logical operators. There we can use those logical operators when we have the multiple conditions. So what I'm going to write here, if the number 1 is greater than number 2 and number 1 is greater than the number 3. Okay, if the number 1 is like greater than from both of the number, then only in that case I am going to print this statement, that's number 1 is greater than the other numbers. Okay, you getting my point? I am checking now both the conditions. Okay, because अगर number 1 अगर बड़ा होगा तो it should be greater than from both of these numbers. Okay, then this is just for the number 1. Now what we need to do, we also need to check for some other. Okay, suppose if this condition will fail, if number 1 is not greater than number 2, okay, then in that case we need to find out first, let me summarize it again for you. In this line, we are checking only number 1, whether number 1 is greater than these two or not. Okay, if it is greater than these two, then we are just printing the message. If it is not greater than by these two, okay, in that case, we know that this is not our answer. Then we have to find out the greater of these two. Okay, like who is the greatest of number 2 and number 3. Then let's write here number 2 is greater than number 3. Okay, now we are comparing only these two. Okay, because if this condition will fail, we know our answer will lie under these two. Okay, then if the number 2 is greater than number 3, we are going to print second number is greater than other numbers. Okay, else if this condition will fail, okay, so basically if this fail, it will come to this. If this fail, it will come to this. Then in this condition, we know that this is just for the third number. Okay, so third number is greater than the other numbers. Okay, so this is the program by which we can find out the greatest of 3 numbers. Let's run it. It is asking for the first number. Let me put some random 45, then second 34, then let's see 67. So out of all these three, 67, 34, 45, it is showing third number is greater than the other numbers. So this program is working fine. Let me run it again. It is asking for the first number. Let me put provide 289, then in the second 56, then let's see if we have 0. Then it is showing the number 1 is greater than the other numbers and the second number is greater than the other numbers. Oh, okay. The one mistake I did, instead of this if condition, I need to provide the elif. Okay, this is the right code, because otherwise it will execute this and it will execute this also. Okay, so in order if we want only one line to be executed, we need to follow this pattern: if, else, if, and in the end else. Okay, let's try it again. Let me put the same. Okay, 45, then let's see 0. So it is telling first number is greater than the other number. So that's it for today's video. In next video, we will start a very important and useful concept in every programming language, that is loops. We will see what is loop and how many types of loops we have in Python and how to implement loops in Python. If you are enjoying this Python series and want to stay with my channel, then don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. You will get a regular videos on this channel related to Python, related to cloud technologies, related to AI projects. If you have any doubt, you can comment on this video or you can ping me on my Instagram. Thanks for watching. I will see you in next video.